In a small African town, 18-year-old Zuri scrolled endlessly on her phone, lost in a world of TikTok trends. She loved fashion, music, and funny videos. Traditions, rituals, that was just old people stuff. In the dimly lit kitchen, the scent of burning herbs filled the air. Mama Jaja, her grandmother, sat calmly, arranging a small wooden bowl filled with water and special leaves. Zuri smirked. Grandma, what are you up to now? Mama Jaja's eyes twinkled. This is a blessing ritual, my child. It brings good fortune and clears bad energy. A laugh escaped from Zuri. Grandma, please. That's just old school magic. We have Google now. Mama Jaja only smiled, humming softly as she continued her ritual. That night, as Zuri lounged on the couch, an idea struck her. She grabbed her phone and hit record. She added a playful voiceover. POV when your African grandma thinks she's Doctor Strange. With a cheeky hashtag, hash grandma magic. She posted it on TikTok and went to bed, thinking nothing of it. By morning, her phone wouldn't stop buzzing. 100K views, 500K views, a million. She stared at the screen, wide-eyed. Wait, what? Comments flooded in. I tried this and I got a job today. OMG, my crush texted me after watching. Someone made Grandma Jaja a life coach. Before she knew it, the Jaja Blessing Challenge was everywhere. People mimicked the ritual, convinced it held real power. Zuri soaked up the attention, laughing at the absurdity. She even started selling the blessing water, just regular water with a fancy label. But then things got strange. A message popped up. Zuri, my wish came true, but now weird things are happening at home. Another, ever since I did this, my dreams feel too real. Something isn't right. Then Zuri's own luck took a turn. Her phone crashed. TikTok suspended her account. She tripped twice on the same day. Panic set in. She ran to Mama Jaja, breathless. Grandma, I think I messed up. I turned your ritual into a joke, and now bad things are happening. Mama Jaja simply sighed. Child, blessings are not for entertainment. They are sacred. When you use old wisdom for clout, the spirits don't take it lightly. The weight of her mistake sank in. She had turned something meaningful into just another internet trend. That night, Mama Jaja guided her through a real blessing. Not for likes, not for fame, but for respect and balance. Zuri recorded one last video, her voice steady but sincere. I messed up. I turned something sacred into a joke, and I shouldn't have. Our traditions aren't just trends, they're part of who we are. Respect your roots. The video didn't go viral, but it didn't have to. From that day on, Zuri still made TikToks, but now she used her platform to share real stories about her culture with Mama Jaja by her side. The end. Lessons to learn. Not everything belongs on the internet. Some traditions are meant to be honored, not exploited. Respect your culture. Old wisdom still holds value, even in the modern world. Fame fades, but respect lasts.
Ikokwogmo, the pot of wisdom.
Imagine if one pot could hold all the wisdom in the world. Would you hide it or would you share it? A long time ago, when the world was still young, Olodumare, the creator of everything, had a very special treasure, a clay pot anikoko, filled with all the wisdom of the world. Inside the pot was the wisdom of the rivers, the wind, the earth, and the secrets of life itself. Whoever had this pot would know everything: how to speak to animals, when it would rain, and the mysteries of the earth. This was no ordinary pot. Olodumare, in his heavenly palace shining in soft white light, said to himself, "It is time to share this wisdom. But who can I trust?" One day, Olodumare called his son, Ajaka, a young, clever, and proud man. Ajaka, my son, take this pot. Keep it safe, because inside it is the knowledge of everything. But remember, wisdom is not meant to be kept by one person alone. Share it with the people. Ajaka's eyes gleam with greed as he takes the pot. All the wisdom of the world? Ajaka, whispering to himself. If I have all this wisdom, I will be the smartest of them all. Why should I share it? Ajaka walking through the forest, cradling the pot protectively. Ajaka did not listen. He didn't want anyone to know about the pot, so he decided to hide the pot far away where no one could find it. Ni yori igitoga. But there was a problem. The pot was heavy, and Ajaka wasn't very strong. Ajaka struggles to climb a tall tree with the pot tied to his waist. He tried and tried, but the pot kept banging against his legs. Every step was harder than the last, and he kept slipping. Ajaka slips and grumbles in frustration, panting, "Ah, this is too difficult." Ajaka's son, Ifayemi, watching from below, suggested, "Baba, why don't you tie the pot to your back? It will be easier to climb that way." Ajaka stops and looks down at his son in surprise. Ajaka froze. His own son, Ifayemi, a small child, had figured out the solution that he, with all his wisdom, couldn't see. Ajaka, who thought he knew everything, now felt foolish. Ajaka's face darkens with embarrassment, grumbled, "How can a child know more than me? I won't accept it." In his frustration, Ajaka shakes the tree and the pot slips from his hands. And then the pot fell. The pot tumbles through the air and crashes on the ground, breaking apart. It broke into pieces, and the wisdom of the world spilled out. It spread all over the land, golden light rising from the broken pot, swirling like fireflies. The wisdom flowed into the rivers, filled the air, penetrated the earth, and even touched the hearts of people. The knowledge was no longer just in the pot. It was everywhere and in everyone. And so, it was that no one person would ever hold all the wisdom again. Instead, everyone would have a little piece of it, because wisdom is like the wind. You cannot catch it alone. You must share it. It can never belong to just one person. And Olodumare, the creator, watches from the sky and smiled down with pleasure, said softly, "This is how it should be." Thank you for listening to this beautiful tale. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring stories.
Koku and the Wise Man. Success is something many seek, yet few truly understand. Some believe it comes from luck, others think it's a gift, and many search for shortcuts. But today, let me tell you a story, one that reveals the true magic behind success. In a vibrant village far beyond the sunset, where the air buzzed with the rhythm of life and the rivers flowed like liquid gold in the evening light, the vibrance of the village radiates in the children as they played under the shade of tall baobab trees and ran around in the calmness of the evening. There lived a young boy named Koku. He was like every other child in the village, curious, full of dreams, and eager to succeed. However, one thing always troubled him. No matter how hard he tried, he never made it to the top of his class. Koku was ambitious, eager to excel, but frustrated by his struggles in school. One day, As he and his friends, Obi and Waziri, walked home after class, Koku made a bold declaration. I will have the best grades in the next examination. Obi and Waziri looked at him in surprise. But you've always fallen short of the top 3, Obi whispered. Obi chuckled. That would be a first. Waziri, the brightest student in their class, smirked. You know better than to think you can score higher than me. I always come first, he boasted. But Koku was determined. He had heard tales of a powerful wise man, a mystical wise man who lived far beyond the shores of their village. It was said that the wise man possessed charms that could make one successful without effort. If I find him, he will give me the power to pass my exams easily, Koku declared. Obi raised an eyebrow. Would you really go that far? Koku nodded eagerly. Yes, if it means I don't have to struggle like before. Obi and Waziri exchanged doubtful glances, but Koku had made up his mind. What Koku didn't know was that his quest for an effortless victory would teach him a lesson more valuable than any charm could offer. As the examination day drew closer, Koku knew he had to act fast. One evening, he packed a small bag, placing fruits, dried fish, and a flask of water inside. He bid his family farewell, telling them he was going on an important journey. His journey was long and filled with challenges. He crossed 7 towering mountains, where the cold winds howled and threatened to push him back. He waded through 7 great rivers, where he battled strong currents, nearly losing his balance. He walked the lonely path where the sun set without warning, and the moon shone at full strength, even in the middle of the day. Finally, after days of traveling, he arrived at the secluded hut of the wise man. The hut was small, covered in vines, and surrounded by ancient trees that whispered secrets to the wind. The wise man was an old man with a long gray beard, his eyes filled with wisdom that seemed to see into the hearts of men. He sat on a carved wooden stool, stirring a pot of herbs over a slow fire. Koku bowed respectfully. Great wise man, I have come seeking your help. The old man looked up. What do you seek, child? I want to be the best in my class without effort. I have heard of your powers and your wisdom. Please grant me success, Koku pleaded. The wise man sighed deeply. Ah, success without effort? That is not a difficult request. He reached into his hut and pulled out a small piece of cloth, plain, simple, and unremarkable. Handing it to Koku, he said, wear this around your neck each night. But there is one condition. For the next 7 days, you must light a candle, wear the charm, and study diligently for 3 hours each evening. Koku was confused, but eager for his newfound magical advantage. He accepted the cloth without question and began his journey home. Back in the village, Koku did exactly as Wise Man instructed. Each night, he lit a candle, wore the charm, and sat down with his books. At first, it felt like a burden. Sitting still for 3 hours was hard, and the words in his books seemed like jumbled symbols. But as the days passed, something strange began to happen. The more he studied, the more he understood. Concepts that once confused him became clear. His memory sharpened, and he could recall details with ease. He even started enjoying his studies. Obi and Waziri noticed the change. Koku, you seem different, Obi remarked one day. You answer questions faster in class, and you don't seem to struggle like before, Waziri added. Koku smiled, feeling the power of the wise man's charm. You'll see, he said confidently. The examination day arrived. Koku walked into the classroom, the charm still tied around his neck. As he read through the questions, he felt calm and prepared. He answered with confidence, finishing before time was up. Days later, when the results were announced, the entire village was in shock. Koku came first. The boy who had never made it to the top had finally surpassed even Waziri. His heart swelled with joy. He had done it, but he knew he had to thank the wise man. Koku rushed back across the mountains and rivers, eager to tell the wise man of his success. When he arrived, the old man was waiting at the entrance of his hut. Ah, you have returned, the wise man said with a knowing smile. Great wise man, your charm worked. I came first in my class, Koku said excitedly. The old man chuckled. Tell me, child, what did you do after receiving the charm? I wore it every night, just as you instructed. I also studied for 3 hours each evening. The wise man nodded. And what did you learn? Koku paused. He thought about the long nights, the effort, the understanding that grew with each passing day. Then realization struck him like lightning. The old man laughed softly. The charm I gave you holds no magic. It is just a piece of cloth. The real magic was in your dedication, your hard work. Your effort brought you success, not a shortcut. Koku's eyes widened. He had sought an easy way out, but had unknowingly put in the work himself. The wise man placed a hand on his shoulder. Remember this, young one. There are no shortcuts to true success. As an African proverb says, there are no shortcuts to the top of the palm tree. Hard work and dedication are the real magic. Embrace diligence, and you will always find your path to success. Koku returned to his village a changed boy. He no longer sought easy ways out, but embraced the power of hard work. His story spread across the village, inspiring many to work hard for their dreams. And so let this tale be a lesson to you. There is no charm, no magic, no shortcut to success, only dedication, discipline, and perseverance. If you want to achieve greatness, like Koku, put in the effort and success will surely follow. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring stories. What is true wealth? Is it the gold and treasures we own, or the people who stand by us in times of need? Welcome to AfriTales Stories and Culture, where we bring you powerful African tales, rich with wisdom. Today's story is about Okuroro, a man who had everything except the one thing that truly mattered. In the heart of the vibrant village of Ilumoka, there was a man named Okuroro. He was the richest man in the land. His mansion, the grandest. His treasures, more than anyone could count. But despite his wealth, he lived alone, turning away visitors and shutting out his community. Parents warned their children, don't go near his gates. Beggars knew if they knocked, they'd leave empty handed. Okuroro believed money was enough, but fate had other plans. One day, he fell gravely ill. His body weakened, his voice faded, and for the first time, he realized he was completely alone. No one came to check on him. Days passed. His once grand mansion became a prison. But then, Ojuri, a curious young boy chasing a stray goat, wandered near Okuroro's home. As he passed the mansion's window, he froze. Groans, soft, weak, desperate. Ojuri peered inside and gasped. There was Okuroro, helpless on the floor. Without a second thought, he ran back to the village, shouting for help. The villagers, shocked but compassionate, rushed to Okuroro's aid. The healer tended to him. The women cooked nourishing meals. The men kept watch over him. And for the first time, Okuroro saw something he had never valued before: community. Despite how he had shut them out, the villagers cared for him. They asked for nothing in return, and in that moment, his heart changed. When he recovered, Okuroro did something no one ever expected. With tears in his eyes, he called a village meeting. I have lived in isolation, thinking my wealth was enough, but in my darkest moment, it was your kindness that saved me. I am forever grateful. From that day forward, Okuroro changed. His gates wide open, his mansion a place of gathering, laughter, and feasts. His wealth no longer just his, but shared with his people. Okuroro, the once lonely, selfish man, became a symbol of generosity and unity. And so the village of Ilumoka flourished because one man learned true wealth is not gold or silver, but the love we share with others. What did you learn from this story? Tell us in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful African tales.